بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. 1971 میں یونائٹڈ نیشن میں ایک ملک نے ہماری حمایت کی. اس کے بعد جب بھی کشمیر کا ایشو کھڑا ہوا انٹرنیشنل فورم پہ، وہاں پہ بھی پاکستان کی حمایت کی اس ملک نے. پاکستان کے اندر اس ملک کے نام سے ایک پارک ہے، اور اسی طرح اسی ملک میں ہمارے نام سے یعنی کہ پاکستان کے نام سے ایک پلازا بھی ہے. میں بات کر رہا ہوں ارجنٹینا کی. پاکستان میں اسلام آباد میں ارجنٹینا پارک ہے، اور اسی طرح ارجنٹینا میں ایک پلازا ہے، اس کا نام رکھا گیا ہے دی پاکستان. پلازا دی پاکستان نام رکھا گیا ہے. شروع سے لے کے آج تک تقریباً 60 سال ہو گئے ہیں ارجنٹینا کے پاکستان کے ساتھ ریلیشن. 60 سال سے پاکستان اور ارجنٹینا کے ریلیشنز قائم ہیں، اور ایک شخصیت جو کہ ڈپلومیٹ ہے اور پچھلے 8 برس سے پاکستان میں تعینات ہے. 8 برس سے. سو اٹس اے ویری لانگ ٹینیور. بڑا لمبا عرصہ ہے کہ 8 سال کوئی شخص سرو کرے ایک کنٹری میں. سو بہت سی چیزیں پاکستان کے بارے میں ڈیفینیٹلی اس ڈپلومیٹ کو پتا ہوگی. اسی ڈپلومیٹ کو آج میں نے دعوت دی ہے اپنے شو میں، اور ذرا بات کر لیں ہم ارجنٹینا پاکستان ریلیشنز کے بارے میں، اور ارجنٹینا کے کیا پوائنٹ آف ویو ہے پاکستان کے بارے میں، اور ہمارے جو ایشوز ہیں ان کو ارجنٹینا والے کس نظر سے دیکھتے ہیں، اور کیا ہمارے ساتھ کھڑے ہوں گے، چاہے وہ ٹریڈ کا مسئلہ ہو، چاہے وہ کوئی اور مسئلہ ہو، یا ان کے خیالات کچھ اور ہیں اور ہمارے کچھ اور ہیں. یہ ایک سوالیہ نشان ہے. ان سوالات کا جواب میں چاہوں گا. میرے ساتھ موجود ہے ایمبیسڈر روڈولفو مارٹینی سریبیا. سو آئی ہوپ میں نے پروناؤنسیشن ٹھیک کی ہو ان کے نام کی. ایمبیسڈر ہاؤ آر یو؟
Very well, Mr. Gobasha. Thank you for giving me the chance to talk to you and to talk through you to the Pakistani people.
The pleasure is all mine. We have like a park in Islamabad where you have served for like 8 years, where you are placed in from the last like 8 years, and that is Argentina Park, right? And in Argentina also you have a plaza the Pakistan, and so you people have been helping us out in 1971. Then you have always supported Pakistan on the Kashmir issue. So we people are really thankful to you guys, to you people, to the country of Argentina, to the people of Argentina. We are really thankful to you. You people had some rough times, and those rough times were with Brazil. And with Brazil you had like a wavy, a rocky sort of situation, and similar to that, if I could say, not exactly like that, but similar to what we have with India. And ultimately you dismantled the nuclear stuff, both the countries. How do you take India-Pakistan relations today?
If I reply, Mr. Rana, you mentioned several things that I would like to come back a little bit on some of them.
Sure.
You mentioned about my stay here in the country for 8 years. That's correct. And I'm very happy. I've been enjoying every single moment of my stay in this country, the same as my wife and my children that come time to time were coming and visiting us over here. I have the best of the memories, the best of the experience in your country, the beautiful country. I've gone all around north, south, east and west of the country, and I have met the fantastic, probably the best asset that Pakistan has, that is the Pakistani population. And I have 90% of my friends are Pakistanis.
Okay.
You mentioned also the Pakistani Plaza in Argentina and the Argentinian Park in Pakistan. I would say the Argentina Park in Pakistan has a particular implication and condition. If you see around the whole Pakistan, the only country, the only park or square who has the name of a foreign country is this one in G6 in Islamabad, who is called Argentinian Park. And that is a very special condition in which myself and my country is very proud, because this, as you mentioned also, is as a recognition of Pakistan to Argentina because of the help and assistance that Argentina gave to Pakistan during the war of 1971, promoting first at the Security Council and then as a General Assembly in the United Nations, promoting a resolution that's called the Resolution of a Peace, who made finally stopped the war in 1971, who could have been escalating for more and more, for even a very worse situation, and they stopped the war, obliged the Indians to retreat and the troops from what it was is Pakistan and now Bangladesh, to ceasefire and put things in at least in a peaceful manner. Because of that, the then President Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, 3 years later, donated, in recognition to the help of Argentina, donated to Argentina this beautiful park in G6 called Argentinian Park. And that's why it's a very special reason of why we have this park. The Pakistani park in Buenos Aires, it is, of course, but there is not an exemption there, because there are parks in Buenos Aires of various countries. I would say that more than 50 or 60 squares or parks have the names of different countries. So that this is a very particular thing. You mentioned something that I would like to correct. You mentioned about Brazil, and you compare Brazil and Argentina with Pakistan and India. Yes, it's true that we have in the past a rough time with Brazil, particularly with the issue of the discussion about a very important, probably the biggest in the world, hydropower plant that's called Itaipu, that was built between Brazil and Paraguay, who in certain way affected the Argentina river downstream. But finally, and this is what we always say, and Argentina always says to the world, diplomacy is probably the best tool to arrange controversies, and that's why Argentina, with Brazil, with the help of other countries, got to an understanding, and finally we finalized in a very peaceful way. As a matter of fact, today Argentina and Brazil, they belong to one of the most advanced regional groups that is called Mercosur, and we have, of course, we have ups and downs, no doubt, that happens in all organizations. You can see that in the European Union as well. But in generally, Argentina and Brazil, they have a fantastic relationship in all fields, with exception, I would say, a joke, with exception that when we are confronting in football we are not in the same field. But now you talk about India and Pakistan. Yes, Argentina has always supported the position of Pakistan into the United Nations. All the resolutions that Pakistan has presented in the United Nations asking asking India to come into the table of negotiations and try to solve the problem of Kashmir and others into a peaceful manner. Argentina has been always supporting that, as well as Pakistan has been always supporting the Argentinian claim against United Kingdom to solve the problem of Malvinas Islands, the islands in the South Pacific that is known in English like Falkland Islands. That also we are very happy, we are very thankful to Pakistan, because they've been always supporting. I think that more than 11 resolutions of the United Nations have been always very strict support by Pakistan.
Okay. So, what do you think about, whatever is happening between Pakistan and India? How should we take it? What is your advice and what is your take on this one? How should we handle this situation?
Well,
because there are two groups in Pakistan. One group is like for having like good relations with India because we cannot change our neighbors. The other group is like, that group has like a very hard stance and they are not ready to change their stance. So is there any advice, as a diplomat, how should we go about it?
Well, Mr. Rana, as a diplomat, I always go by the peaceful way. I always go by the dialogue. And I think that the hard way will not take you anywhere. You already have 3 wars with India and nothing has been solved. I think that the initiative that is called, and was initially called a composite dialogue, with all these 8 avenues of issues to solve, Sea Creek, Siachen, communication, people to people, transportation, and of course the core issue of Kashmir is the best way to solve these problems. What I would say is that slowly there is an understanding. I feel I've been here in 8 years, and from the last 8 years I can say without hesitation that there has been an improvement in this. Of course, there was a very tough moment in November 2008 of Mumbai attack, but now I think you overpassed that, and now you are in better relations again. And this last move, this last decision of Pakistan to go on trying to explore avenues of trade between Pakistan and India, I think is the best way to do it. And you cannot imagine, and the people of Pakistan could not imagine the benefit that could come to Pakistan if the trade is solved and the barriers and the borders between the two countries are open to free trade or limited trade, but more open. The benefits for both countries are enormous, considering that India has 1.1 billion inhabitants and you have 200 million. I mean, imagine the enormous possibilities of exchange of goods that both sides have to improve. And that, I think, is the right answer. And never the war is an answer. It will not take you anywhere. And of course, God save us if they go even to a nuclear war, in which both of your countries are nuclear, and hopefully that will only use to dissuade other decisions, but not to use it actively.
Okay, so that's a good advice. But how would you take this thing when there's in Afghanistan? The NATO forces, I would say, are trying to give India a very, very important role in Afghanistan. So how should we take it? What should we do? What's your advice on this one? As a diplomat, we cannot change our neighbors, but with the presence of NATO forces in Afghanistan and America in America, especially America in Afghanistan, how would, if they want India to have a very, very important role in Afghanistan, how should we take it, and what should we do?
Well, Mr. Rana, that is a very critical question with different ways to answer it. I'm not so sure what you say that the NATO forces are asking India to participate alone. I mean, I think that no doubt, my feeling is that Afghanistan, the situation in Afghanistan could not be solved without the participation of Pakistan. Pakistan, like it or not, has a very significant role into the future of Afghanistan, and particularly if it is in the 2014, all the troops of NATO are withdraw from Afghanistan. Pakistan has an important role to play there, and they know, Pakistan knows, but of course the whole world knows, and I think that if you don't believe that, and if people do not believe that, it's because they are looking to another to another world. The participation of India, what will be the participation of India? India could be a participation of helping into the development of Afghanistan in terms of infrastructure, in terms of helping them into construction of or developing some industries. I don't find that a negative thing if it's done in an open and transparent way. I will not enter, and allow me, Mr. Anna, not to enter to sometimes these, let's say, conspiracy theories that they're coming with the troops to train. That I don't know. I have no proofs that will happen. Yes, India is a very important country in the region, no doubt. It's a very important in terms of size, power. It's a very becoming one of the richest and most powerful countries in the world. So that no doubt Afghanistan is within the region. It's not the neighbor, but it's within the region. And I don't think that it should be a real danger for Pakistan if they participate there.
Okay. So you think that there won't be any issues if India has an important role in Afghanistan? Pakistan has nothing to, should not be conscious, should not be worried about it if India is given an important role in Afghanistan. That's what you're saying, Ambassador?
Well, but Mr. Rana, that will depend on how you go on the relations between you and India. Okay. If the relations between India are improved, all the other consequences are also will improve. It's part of the package.
Okay. So you're saying that if the relations between Pakistan and India improve in the days to come, and if India has an important role or is given an important role in Afghanistan, there are no issues about it, and Pakistan should not be worried about it. Am I getting it?
That's my
right?
feeling.
Okay, that's your feeling.
No, that's my feeling. But of course, when you have to precise what is important or not important. That I don't know. That we have the data, we have the information of what is important in which field, in which area. That I don't know. You say the important participation of India into military activity, then I will say we have to see what it is. But if we are talking about what I say, India participating in the development of Afghanistan in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the roads, in terms of railroads, in terms of industry, that I think is part of the business as China could be into Afghanistan as well, or Russia or other countries. I mean, it's or European Union. That I think is just one more actor. I would not think, and I think you are more close to Afghanistan to shot to make the shots or to make the initiative than India. So that even though any participation of India in Afghanistan has barely to pass through your country, either by space or either by road, so that Pakistan again is a very important factor in this.
Okay, so if there's a military role given to India over there, if I'm getting it right, just tell me if I'm not explaining it properly. You can always tell me, no, that's not the right thing. But I want to tell my viewers that what your stance is, what the stance of Argentina is on this one, that if a military role is given to India in Afghanistan, that needs to be watched very, very closely. And if they are involved in the making infrastructure of Afghanistan, and if they are involved in in the development of Afghanistan, then there should be no worries, right?
That's right, but I cannot answer you about the military, because that I don't know anything that they have been asked India to participate. Already the NATO forces in Afghanistan are quite enough forces that, to provide whatever military needs that the country or the region needs. So I don't think India has nothing to do with in that respect. If in the future they show up in that, we'll have to see. Today I have no information that they are planning to do nothing in that respect. But yes, I think that it will be very healthy for the Afghanistan. Afghanistan needs desperately countries to help them to develop, to develop and to make the country to flourish and to make the people in Afghanistan to have a better life and not to live in a constant war.
Okay, got your point. Okay, we'll talk about the trade between Pakistan and Argentina. How can Argentina help us out? And you people have also gone through very tough times, and there were times when Argentina was, in a very, very bad shape economically, and you people took off, and you took off like heroes, and you made it up. And how can you help us out? Because right now we are facing energy crisis, we are facing industry is is not taking off because they are winding up industries in Pakistan just because of the energy issues, and there are so many other issues. There are security issues, there are law and order situation issue because people are not investing over here as such as they should be doing it, because there are multiple things attached with it, and the law and order situation is number one, and then the energy crisis is also very, very important, and people are getting out of here. How can Argentina help Pakistan to get out of this situation, and in what way can you help us out?
Well, it is very ambitious. If I reply to you, how can Argentina help? But of course, we, in our capacity, faraway country and so forth, we are, in certain way, we are trying to help Pakistan in certain areas. For example, in the energy crisis, in which I agree with you, is facing a very serious moment. The country with this low shedding, electricity and gas, and sometimes even in water. But Argentina, I don't know if it can help to solve the problem, but can help to reduce the deficit or reduce the problem. For example, in probably 10 days, we are going to present to the media one project or one technical system that Argentina has developed in a very big scale and very sophisticated and used in many countries in the world. That makes it, a system is called virtual pipeline, who happens to be a technical equipment that uses to transport gas from dormant fields that are not connected or interconnected to the network to whatever consumer requires, industry, home appliances, CNG stations, whatever you want. And this is something that is a system that's called virtual pipeline. That's a company of Argentina that helped and supported by Argentine government, is trying to develop in Sindh, in Punjab, and as well as in KP. And this is something we have been talking to the various authorities, federal and provincial authorities, as to tell them how important it is. For example, there are fields in the country that are oil fields who, in the same production of oil, they are flaring gas. They are flaring gas for the last 15 years or 20 years. So it's gas that is sent to the air for 20 years, imagine, and nobody is using it. What we are proposing is to take that gas, compress that gas, and take it 200 kilometers by road in this system that's called virtual pipeline into special containers to whatever consumer. For example, there is one particular client who is interested in that is Fuji Cement. Fuji Cement plant, they require desperately of energy, and they will be interested in this. But then many other industries that can benefit on this. In Sindh there are 2 or 3 dormant fields that are there, and that could be also connected to any, as they call it, mother to daughter. We've been talking also to the MD of OGCL and other companies, petroleum companies, and they are very much interested. So we are trying to develop that. which other way we can help in energy. No doubt we are trying to bring to Pakistan, as many other countries are doing it, a company of Argentina who are very an expert in terms of hydropower plants, especially turbines. And they are, I'm very surprised about the figure, but Pakistan has around 40 million megawatts of power that are not being used, and that only one-fourth of that, if it is produced, will solve the deficit of your country. And there are sort of different places, particularly in the north and in Sindh, that could be used by the development of certain rivers that could be placed hydropower plants of even a small size, and reduce enormously the deficit that your country is facing.